So I wasn't expecting this, but I'm pretty sure I just watched one of the top 10 horror movies of the year. Greetings, fellow insomniacs, it's your friend in fright, good old Chunky Larry, and as you may or may not know, I have committed to watching every single horror movie in 2024. Before I get into the movie that we're going to discuss, be sure to give me a like and a follow. But this time I plopped my fat ass down and I watched the film Sting. A lonely girl makes a friend who's so much more than what they seem. Sting is written and directed by Kaya Roche Turner, who is the artist responsible for the Wormwood movies, and fuck! It's a simple enough story that you don't have to necessarily get too invested, but they do enough in terms of character building that you actually care what's happening to each and every character in the movie. It also smartly plays the comedy. It doesn't feel like it's super duper forced.
Eat your ass.
If I'm being terribly honest, the violence in this movie is excellently executed. The visual storytelling in this is subtle in really fucking cool ways. Wonderful in this fucking movie. This feels almost reminiscent to me of Megan, where I could see where somebody would have an issue with this melodrama that's kind of playing out with family dynamics and saying that could bog down the process, where I personally, as somebody that's a father and everything, I register with shit like that. I register with the odd and kind of sometimes uncomfortable dynamics that do exist, specifically with adopted children. The idea of being a stepfather and, wanting to be the caregiver while understanding that bond will never be the same for the child, and that being a process and a journey that they go on. While I understand why people will have a problem with that storytelling aspect, I think it's one of the better portions of the story, because ultimately story is where I personally am drawn, and if I were to have one complaint, it's having the beginning kind of be the ending. I don't like that kind of storytelling, but I was able to see past it because it was a fun journey that they go on through the course of the movie, and it's done in a way where it's light enough that you don't way too much time on the opening being the ending. And when it comes back around to it, you're like, okay, here we fucking are. Overall, coming in with a Reaper for this one, I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect movie, obviously, but I thought it was a lot of fucking fun. I thought that the actors in the film were fucking terrific. I thought that the CGI was spotty in points, but it still managed to be effective because of the way that it was shot. And I just had an overall good time with the story. I was invested in the characters and where they went. But that's going to do it for me. Be sure to give me a like and a follow. Tell me what you thought of the film in the comments. And then, until next time, listen with someone you trust.